In the tranquil village of Satori, nestled amidst the lush green mountains of Japan, there lived a revered Zen master named Kaito. His wisdom was as vast as the endless sky, and his heart was as boundless as the sea. People from far and wide came seeking his guidance and enlightenment, for they knew that in his presence, they would find not only answers to their questions but also solace for their troubled souls. Kaito, whose name meant Sea of Wisdom, was known for his compassion. He believed that true enlightenment lay in the kindness one showed towards others. He often said, "In the act of showing compassion, we discover the infinite light within ourselves." One cool autumn morning, as the leaves danced in the gentle breeze and the sound of the flowing river filled the air, Kaito sat under a cherry blossom tree, deep in meditation. His eyes, the color of the clearest ocean, were half closed, and his long, flowing beard rustled like the leaves of the tree. A young monk, named Ren, approached Kaito. Ren was eager to learn from the wise master and had traveled a great distance to be in his presence. With a humble bow, Ren greeted Kaito and said, "Master Kaito, I seek your guidance on the path to enlightenment. How can one truly attain inner peace and wisdom?" Kaito opened his eyes, and a warm smile crossed his lips. "Welcome, young Ren," he said. "Enlightenment is a journey of the heart and mind. To truly understand it, one must first learn to treat others with kindness and compassion." Ren, eager to grasp the wisdom hidden in Kaito's words, asked, "But Master, how can we cultivate compassion within ourselves?" Kaito nodded, his eyes filled with an ancient knowing. "Let me tell you a story, Ren, a tale of compassion that will help you understand the path you seek. Long ago, in a neighboring village, there lived a recluse named Lotus. He had taken to the mountains at a young age, forsaking the comforts of society, in search of a higher truth. Lotus was known for his hermit-like existence, and his stern demeanor. Many considered him wise, but few had the courage to approach him. One winter's day, as the snow blanketed the village and the winds howled through the trees, a desperate mother named Sakura came knocking at the door of Lotus's humble dwelling. Her daughter, Hana, had fallen gravely ill, and all the village's healers had failed to cure her. With tears in her eyes, Sakura pleaded, "Oh, great sage Lotus, I beg of you, please save my daughter. She is all I have in this world." Lotus, unmoved by her pleas, gazed at Sakura with a cold, unfeeling expression. "Why should I help you?" he asked. "I have renounced the world, and its troubles no longer concern me." Sakura's heart sank, but she refused to give up. She dropped to her knees and implored, "Master Lotus, I have nothing to offer you but my gratitude. If you save my daughter, I will forever be in your debt." Lotus considered her words for a moment, then finally relented. "Very well, I shall come to your village. But understand this, I make no promises, and I expect nothing in return. If your daughter's fate allows her to live, so be it. If not, it is the way of the world." With a heavy heart, Sakura led Lotus to her modest home, where Hana lay weak and pale, her life hanging by a fragile thread. Lotus examined the girl silently, his face a mask of indifference. He sat by her bedside, closed his eyes, and began to meditate, his mind seeking the answers hidden in the depths of his consciousness. Days turned into weeks, and Lotus continued to meditate by Hana's side, ignoring the world around him. Sakura watched over them, her heart filled with hope, but also with doubt. She knew not whether the sage's efforts would bear fruit or if her daughter's life would slip away like a fleeting dream. One morning, as the sun bathed the room in a warm golden light, Hana opened her eyes, weak but conscious. Her face lit up when she saw the serene countenance of Lotus beside her. "Who are you, sir?" she asked, her voice feeble. Lotus smiled, a rare glimmer of warmth in his eyes. "I am Lotus, a humble sage who came to help you in your time of need." Hannah nodded weakly. Thank you, Master Lotus, for saving my life. Lotus rose from his seat and turned to Sakura. Your daughter will recover, but remember this, compassion is not a debt to be repaid, it is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the heart. Nurture it, and it will blossom into something beautiful. With those words, Lotus left the village as quietly as he had arrived, disappearing into the mountains once more. Hannah's health gradually improved, and she grew into a young woman of great kindness and compassion, just like the sage who had saved her. Word of Lotus's act of kindness spread throughout the region, and his once aloof reputation softened. People began to seek his counsel not only for wisdom but also for the compassion he had displayed that cold winter's day. In his later years, as he neared the end of his life, Lotus was known not as a stern recluse but as a sage of great compassion. He had learned that the true path to enlightenment lay not only in the solitude of the mountains but also in the hearts of those we touch with our kindness. As Kaito finished the tale, Ren sat in deep contemplation. The story of Lotus and Sage had touched his heart, and he understood the profound message it carried. Kaito smiled at Ren and said, "Compassion, my dear Ren, is the key to unlocking the doors of enlightenment. When we treat others with kindness and empathy, we not only heal their wounds but also nurture the seeds of compassion within ourselves." Ren bowed deeply to his master. Thank you, Master Kaito, for sharing this beautiful story and your wisdom with me. I will strive to cultivate compassion in my heart and help others as Lotus did. Kaito's eyes sparkled like stars as he replied, "Remember, Ren, compassion is not a one-time act but a way of life. Carry the light of kindness within you, and you will illuminate the path for others." Ren left Kaito's presence that day with a newfound sense of purpose. He vowed to live a life guided by compassion, and to share the story of Lotus and Sage with all who crossed his path. Years passed, and Ren became a renowned Zen master in his own right. He founded a temple in a nearby village, where he welcomed seekers of truth and offered them guidance on their spiritual journeys. One day, a traveler named Hiroshi arrived at Ren's temple. Hiroshi had lost his way in life, burdened by the weight of his past mistakes. He sought solace and a path to redemption. Ren welcomed Hiroshi with warmth and compassion, offering him a place to stay and listen to his troubles. As Hiroshi shared his story, Ren was reminded of the tale of Lotus and Sage. Ren said, "Hiroshi, I have a story to share with you, one that may help you find your way." He recounted the tale of Lotus and Sage, emphasizing the transformative power of compassion. Hiroshi listened intently, and as the story concluded, tears welled up in his eyes. "Master Ren," Hiroshi said, "I have lived a life devoid of compassion, causing pain to those around me. Can compassion truly change a person?" Ren nodded with a serene smile. "Compassion has the power to heal even the deepest wounds, Hiroshi. But it must begin within your own heart. Start by forgiving yourself and then extend that forgiveness and kindness to others." Hiroshi followed Ren's guidance, and over time, he transformed from a troubled soul burdened by guilt into a compassionate and caring individual. He devoted his life to helping others find their own path to redemption. The ripple effect of compassion continued to spread. Hiroshi, now a wise and compassionate mentor, touched the lives of many, inspiring them to embrace kindness and forgiveness. The village of Satori, once known for its idyllic beauty, became renowned for its compassionate inhabitants. One day, a weary traveler named Akiko arrived in Satori. She had faced many trials on her journey and had lost faith in humanity. Her heart had grown cold, and she had become cynical and distant. As she wandered through the village, Akiko observed the kindness and compassion of its people. She saw neighbors helping neighbors, strangers reaching out to lend a hand, and children laughing and playing freely. It was a sight unlike any she had witnessed on her travels. Curiosity piqued, Akiko approached a group of villagers and inquired, what is the secret to the kindness and compassion that permeate this village? One of the villagers smiled and replied, "It all began with our beloved Zen master, Ren, who shared with us the story of Lotus and Sage. Through his teachings, we have learned that true enlightenment is found in the compassion we show to others." Akiko felt a stirring in her heart, a glimmer of hope she thought she had lost. She sought out Master Ren, who welcomed her to his temple with open arms. Ren shared the story of Lotus and Sage with Akiko and said, "Compassion can thaw even the coldest of hearts, my dear traveler. It is never too late to embrace kindness and change the course of your life." Touched by Ren's words and the compassionate spirit of the village, Akiko began a journey of transformation. She learned to let go of her cynicism, and open her heart to the beauty of compassion. Over time, she too became a source of inspiration for others seeking a path of kindness. And so, the eternal ripple of compassion continued to spread, from person to person, village to village, and heart to heart. Each act of kindness and every compassionate gesture created a chain reaction of positivity, touching the lives of countless individuals. Master Kaito, the wise Zen master, had once said, "In the act of showing compassion, we discover the infinite light within ourselves." Through the stories of Lotus and Sage, Ren, Hiroshi, Akiko, and many others, the people of Satori had come to understand the profound truth of these words. In their quiet village nestled among the mountains, they had found enlightenment not in isolation but in the shared experience of compassion. And as they looked out upon the world, they knew that the ripple of their kindness would continue to spread, lighting up the darkness and guiding lost souls back to the path of love and understanding. As we reflect on this tale of compassion, let us remember that each one of us has the power to be a beacon of light in someone else's life. In the act of showing kindness and compassion, we not only uplift others but also find our own path to inner peace and wisdom. May the story of Lotus and Sage inspire us all to be agents of compassion in a world that sorely needs it, and may we, too, create ripples of love and kindness that extend far beyond our own lives, touching the hearts of generations yet to come. Let us carry the wisdom of compassion with us on our journey, for it is a universal truth that transcends time and place. In the words of Master Kaito, the light of compassion shines eternally within us, waiting to be awakened. The tale of compassion in the village of Satori continued to weave its intricate threads through the lives of its inhabitants and beyond. People from distant lands, drawn by the reputation of Satori's compassionate spirit, began to visit the village to witness its magic firsthand. One such visitor was May, a skilled painter known for her stunning landscapes. Her work was admired far and wide, but she had grown weary of the bustling city life. May had heard whispers of a tranquil village where kindness flowed like a gentle river, and she longed to capture its essence on her canvas. As May strolled through the village, she was captivated by the serenity that enveloped Satori. She watched children play under the cherry blossom trees, their laughter harmonizing with the rustling leaves. She observed villagers helping each other with genuine smiles and felt the warmth of their compassion. Unable to resist the pull of Satori's beauty, May set up her easel by the riverbank. She began to paint, her brushstrokes expressing the village's harmony and compassion. As she painted, villagers came by to observe her work and share stories of Lotus and Sage, Ren, Hiroshi, and Akiko. One day, an elderly woman named Yuki approached May. She had been a lifelong resident of Satori and had witnessed the village's transformation firsthand. With a gentle smile, Yuki said, "Dear May, your art captures the outward beauty of our village, but there is an inner beauty that radiates from the hearts of its people. Would you like to hear another tale of compassion that flows through the veins of Satori?" May nodded eagerly, setting her paintbrush aside. She was eager to learn more about the village's remarkable journey. Yuki began her story. Long ago, when Satori was just beginning its transformation into a village of compassion, there was a humble bamboo grove on the outskirts of town. In this grove lived a monk named Kaze, whose name meant gentle wind. Kaze was known throughout the region for his kindness and his ability to bring comfort to those who sought his counsel. He had a simple dwelling within the bamboo grove, and it was there that he offered solace and guidance to anyone in need. One particularly harsh winter, a traveler named Hiroshi stumbled upon the grove. He was weary from his journey and on the brink of starvation. Kaze welcomed Hiroshi into his modest abode and shared his meager meal. Hiroshi, overcome with gratitude, said, "I have nothing to offer in return for your kindness, but I vow to return one day and repay your generosity." Kaze smiled and replied, "Your gratitude is more than enough, dear traveler. Go in peace, and may your journey be filled with compassion." Hiroshi continued his travels, but the memory of Kaze's kindness stayed with him. He often thought of how he could repay the monk's selflessness. Years passed, and Hiroshi found himself in a prosperous city, where he had built a successful business. He had not forgotten his vow. One day, Hiroshi received news that a severe drought had struck Satori, leaving the villagers in dire need of water. Without hesitation, Hiroshi ordered a team of laborers to construct a canal that would bring water from a nearby river to the thirsty village. When the canal was complete, the once parched fields of Satori turned green, and the village flourished. Hiroshi's act of kindness had saved the villagers from despair. News of Hiroshi's generosity reached Kaze in the bamboo grove, and tears of gratitude welled in his eyes. He realized that the ripples of compassion he had set in motion had returned to him in the form of a bountiful gift. Kaze knew that gratitude had a power all its own, and he shared this wisdom with those who visited his grove. "Gratitude," he said, "is a force that connects us all. When we give with an open heart, we create a bond that transcends time and distance." As the years passed, the bamboo grove of gratitude became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking to understand the interconnectedness of kindness, compassion, and gratitude. It served as a reminder that the seeds of goodness we plant today may blossom in unexpected ways, enriching not only our lives but the lives of others. May, deeply moved by Yuki's story, resumed her painting with renewed inspiration. She understood that the beauty of Satori lay not only in its picturesque landscapes but also in the interconnectedness of its people's hearts. As May continued to capture the village's essence on her canvas, villagers and travelers alike marveled at her ability to convey the spirit of Satori. Her artwork became a symbol of the village's compassion, and people from all corners of the world flocked to see her creations. One day, as May was putting the finishing touches on a painting of the cherry blossom trees, a young boy approached her. His name was Haruki, and he had traveled with his family to Satori in search of inspiration. Haruki gazed at May's masterpiece and said, "Your art is breathtaking, but it is the stories of compassion that make this village truly special. Can you share more tales of Satori's wisdom with me?" May smiled and invited Haruki to sit beside her. She began to recount stories of Lotus and Sage, Ren, Hiroshi, Akiko, Kaze, and many others who had contributed to the village's legacy of compassion. As Haruki listened, he felt a deep sense of wonder and awe. He realized that the lessons of compassion were not confined to a single village but were universal, transcending borders and cultures. Haruki vowed to carry these lessons with him throughout his life, sharing the wisdom of Satori with the world. And so, the ripple of compassion continued to flow outward, carried by the stories of Satori and the art of May. It touched the hearts of those who visited the village, inspiring them to embrace kindness and gratitude in their own lives. As May completed her painting of the cherry blossom trees, she added a quote that had become synonymous with Satori's spirit: "In the act of showing compassion, we discover the infinite light within ourselves. In the circle of gratitude, we find our connection to all living beings." And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the village of Satori, its people knew that their legacy of compassion would endure, creating ripples of love and kindness that would flow eternally through the river of time. In these stories, the radiant importance of kindness, empathy, and gratitude shines brilliantly. The acts of compassion displayed by Lotus, Sage, Ren, Hiroshi, Akiko, and Kaze serve as beacons of transformation, capable of healing wounds, uniting people, and enriching lives. As we draw the lessons to a close, the village of Satori imparts a timeless truth: the genuine path to enlightenment is paved with compassion. This compassion, in its nurturing embrace, plants the seeds of kindness and gratitude within us all. Remember that by treating others with empathy and practicing acts of kindness, we not only elevate those around us but also uncover our own inner peace and wisdom. Compassion's reach knows no boundaries, its ripples can span time and distance, creating a world brimming with empathy. As you journey through life, carry the teachings of Satori within your heart. Cultivate compassion and gratitude, and let these virtues radiate through your actions. The impact of your kindness, when shared with others, can inspire and uplift those you encounter on your path. In this way, you contribute to the creation of a more compassionate world for generations to come.